Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Tuesday, May 25th. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today as I adjust my camera and say hello to you guys. Look at me in a fucking pink lipstick. It's almost like I gave a shit about you guys today. Just kidding. I always give a shit about you guys. It's almost like I gave a shit about me today, except for my unbrushed hair. It's just going out in all of the directions. So welcome back to the show. I just got finished this morning reading this incredible article in GQ that was really excellently done. It's like it's talking about the biggest star of our time. And it is a piece on Johnny Knoxville, who has decided that Jackass 4 will be the last Jackass. But this piece by Sam Shube was phenomenal, and I can't wait to break it down with you guys today. I put a link in the chat in case any of you guys wanted to check it out, but don't worry, I'll break it down. And so I loved this. I loved this. And who knew I would find this so inspirational? Who knew? It was really incredible. So we'll talk all about Johnny Knoxville, about Jackass 4, about everything we know. On the other side of the spectrum, Powerpuff Girls is getting reworked. The pilot came out. It was leaked. Apparently people thought it was shit, or the script for the pilot. And the studio is not ready to scrap it. So they want to rework the pilot, which was apparently too campy. I'll talk all about that as well. As you guys know, I'm a Powerpuff Girl fan, but was not a fan of the idea of the specific idea they were going with for this series. So I'm not kind of surprised to hear about that, but we'll talk about that. Then there were images of Taika, Tessa, and Rita. That's Taika Waititi, Tessa Thompson, and Rita Ora getting jiggy with it. Na 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 na. And I can't wait to talk about that because, oh boy, hey-oh, live your best life. And it certainly seems like they are. I'm excited to show those images, break that down, get a little sexy up in here. And then also mentioning today, even though we mention all the time on this show because we don't just want to talk about things on the anniversaries, but it is the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd. And so definitely just even using that as a time marker for us of how long it has been that we have been full-blown fighting on this show for justice and how little justice has actually been served. And justice isn't even the right word because, as I've said, there is no justice for George Floyd because there is no way to bring him back. So, but there have been some advancements that have been made, and we do want to honor and remember George Floyd on this day and all days, to be honest. So, okay, those are some of the things that we're going to talk about on the show today. Plus, whatever it is that you guys would like to talk about, questions, comments, concerns, send them on over, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, plus right here in the super chat. I would love to hear from you guys. To anybody who tuned into SEN this morning, thank you guys so much for being there. Really appreciate you. I made Steph and Sabrina and Kate play for the men's championship. It was a lot of fun, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. So thank you for making me look decent to Christian and for having a fun show this morning. Now I am here with you guys live. And then tomorrow is World Girl Wednesday. We're doing a new thing for World Girl Wednesdays where our IRL episode, our highly produced episode, is actually going to air in the middle of us talking about it. So we're going to be going live and we're going to air the episode and then we are going to go live afterwards. Another big thing about tomorrow, Thursday, you guys know, Friends, the reunion special is dropping. So I've decided that I'm doing my Thursday show at 2 in the morning. So I'm going to do a Wednesday live at the Roxy at normal time, 1. And then I'm going to do my Thursday live at the Roxy at 2 in the morning because that is when, or 2:15 or whatever it's done. Supposedly the reunion, the Friends reunion is going to be at midnight Pacific time on HBO Max. And it's going to be 2 hours. And then I'm going to just fucking power on through and talk about it because I cannot wait till the morning. This is my Super Bowl. And so that is when that episode is going to be. So if you want to stay up late with me, Have fucking fun doing it. If you want to catch it on repeat in the morning, no worries. But that is going to be a full-blown Friends reunion after show because that is my fucking life. So I'm very, very excited for that. I know it's not all of your thing, but be happy for me. Just be happy for my happiness at least. All right, let's go into the Streamlabs. Let's see what's going on for you guys today. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer on this beautiful Tuesday. Why is it beautiful? Well, because we're here. Speaking of which, thank you to Glenn Caesar for putting in this Streamlab. He says, rest in peace, Chris Burke, and I stand against anti-Semitism. I stand against Asian hate. I stand against Islamophobia. I believe that Black Lives Matter. Let's go. Smets and everyone fighting. Smash cancer. Stop API hate. I stand against anti-Semitism. Hashtag BLM. All of these truths. Thank you, Glenn, for that. Glenn also reminds us, as always, Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankerson, Jonathan Mattingly, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. All three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Hope today is the day. Justice for all the people who've lost their lives due to excessive force. Hashtag say their names. Absolutely, Glenn. Glenn also says, hello and good afternoon, Roxy, and all your nicknames. Great job hosting SEN Lives, all ladies show today. Well wishes and thanks for hanging out. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you, Grammy and Papo. Be most excellent to yourselves and one another, RJ, rock stars, and world friends. Cheers to fuck yeah news, love and laughter for us all in each of our days, our weeks, our months, and even our years. I hope that you and each of us can find what it is that brings you and us joy and then do it when and where we can and lose ourselves in it. RJ and everyone who shows up to give their support whenever, however they can when it gets tough, even by yourself, you're not alone. Everyone who's battling, keep on fighting. You are a winner. You are kind. You are smart. You are unique. Showing up for people who need it and want it makes you dope as fuck. Being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers, whether it's on the internet or not, makes you humane and worthy. Your story is important and deserves to be seen and heard. Thank you, Glenn. I really appreciate the kind words. Thanks for all the reminders always. And thank you for being one hell of a rock star in every situation. Appreciate you. You guys rock. Thank you. Thank you. Andrew Thomas in the super chat says, hey, the most beautiful and sexy Roxy. You are a great SEN host today. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I am trying on that show. It definitely felt fun today. I love doing the all ladies shows, and it's the least like pulling teeth in terms of, I think that people want to support that show, even though it doesn't get the most views. It does do decently or well, does really well financially for Christian and for SEN. So I'm glad that I'm able to help support them in that way. Ooh, this tea is hot. Spill the tea, sis. I never have tea when I have a lip color on. So it just makes can you guys see my pink lip on it? It's kind of bizarro. Simply Emily in the super chat. Simply Emily says, just wanted to share some happy news. Ooh, we love happy news. Yesterday, I finally closed on my condo. Oh, fucking huge, dude. Start moving in this weekend. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Love that journey for you. Simply Emily, congratulations. That is a huge deal. To close on a condo is massive. Best of luck and energy and all of that good stuff going into you moving in this weekend. We are all so happy for you. And anytime any rock star succeeds, it's like all of us succeed. So I hope you're inviting us over for dinner, Emily. Where's that invite? We want to christen the new condo. You're a rock star, and thank you for sharing. Anybody else has questions, comments, concerns, things they want to share about any of the topics that we're talking about on today's show, or anything personal going on in your life, or any questions that you have for me, or anything that I didn't even just think of? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. All right. Let's get into this Johnny Knoxville article. So this was something that came out in GQ. It was a feature on him, and they did a really incredible job of breaking down Johnny Knoxville, who just turned 50 and has been doing Jackass since he was 29, my age. Johnny Knoxville has been in the public eye for the last 30 years as one of the most insane people that we have ever seen, and he's a living legend. Now, you might not love Jackass. Jackass. It might be hard for you to watch. You might think what they do is fucking nuts, but you have to give credit where credit is due. He created a fucking entire empire, and he did it off of something that most of us would say, and I would maybe go as far as say all of us would say, we would never fucking do. But it's pretty incredible that he figured out a way to be famous by doing something he was good at with a road that had never been paved prior to him. Yes, there are stunt people, and yes, there are people who are excellent at doing some things, but specifically what he decided to do and the team that he surrounded himself with, there has never been somebody like him before, and there will never be somebody identical to him again. He is truly a visionary, a creator of the wildest forms, and I could not have more respect for what Johnny Knoxville has done for Hollywood, for television, for film, and in general. I think it is mind-blowingly fascinating. So I really, really appreciated this feature because it's clear that I'm not the only one who thinks that. And I read this word, every single word, because I'm fascinated by him and I want to know what exactly is going on with him. Now, for those of you guys who haven't been keeping up with him in the pandemic, apparently he has been dyeing his hair since he was 20 or in his 20s. He's had gray hair forever, just like his dad did. And in quarantine, he decided to let that hair go gray instead of dyeing it. This is currently what Johnny Knoxville looks like. I gotta say, silver zaddy if I've ever seen one. 50 years old, there's not a non-gray hair on his head. And boy, does he look fucking good for somebody who is almost blown off his penis 1,000 times. I mean, he is truly, truly one of a kind. And so I think that he looks fucking fantastic. He really is a wild child. But this article talked about a lot of different things. Number one, that Jackass 4, which he announced, that has been announced, he is saying is going to be the last Jackass, that he can't continue to do this to his family. And I honestly, even though we've heard him say it before, I kind of think that he means it this time. When you turn 50, it's a different ball game if you're doing Jackass. He has done his bit for God and country. He has given us 3 decades of Jackass. And the fact that they're even doing this one at his age, at their ages, is wild. But I really feel that this will be the last one. It's really just cool to be able to say, for him to say, I've been doing this for 30 years. I feel like he was put on this planet to entertain. There's his sole purpose on this planet. He was put here to entertain. He is here to make us feel, to cringe, we can't take our eyes off of him. And there are some people who they do many different things, and he has a family and all of that. He fulfilled his purpose. And if he died tomorrow, which he's not going to, but if he did die tomorrow, I feel like he did his fucking job and he fulfilled that purpose. And that's got to be a really cool feeling that he made from the ground up, created this. And that's not me saying that anybody out there should go ahead and light firecrackers in their ass cheeks or what the fuck ever. But what he has been able to do and got all the people around him to be able to do, even though I'll talk about that in a second, is incredible. It's really incredible. I know I'm talking about this like he's Jesus, but I can't help it. I think it's unbelievable what he's able to do. King Sport Cow in the super chat feels differently, I guess. Seems like SEN is all about money now. Also, the World Girls to some extent. Am I wrong? I watch, I like, I comment, super chats, etc. Am I good? King Sport Cow, they're both businesses. So I don't know what you mean. They're all about money. Aren't all businesses trying to make money? I have no idea I can't speak for Christian for SEN. We have a mark that we have to hit in order to pay all the staff because that's our jobs. You know, this is what we do for a living. In terms of the World Girls, we also give a ton to charity. We're about entertainment. We do our best to provide great shows. I wouldn't say we're all about money, but yeah, we're putting in 50-hour weeks for World Girls. So we are about making money because, you know, with all the hours we put in, we are making less than minimum wage, I'm sure. So to be all about money, it seems like kind of a rude comment and also like a lack of understanding of the fact that this is our job. This is what, same with Live at the Roxy. This is what, you know, what do I do for a living? I'm an entertainer. So if that bothers you, then I don't know that it's that we're the right people to be watching. You've always been really great and supportive, but we have to we have to make enough money for the show to continue. If we don't do that, then the show goes away. There is no entertaining anybody if you can't, because where's the money come from? How do you finance it? How do you make the show if that is the financial model? So hopefully that answers your question. So that. And anybody else who has any questions, I always tell you guys I'm willing to answer them. So streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in as well. We have a couple things coming through for the Streamlabs. Paul through JP says, I, for one, commend Taika for living his truth out in the open for the world to see. The sheer bravery on display is inspiring. I welcome this new age of the throuple. Thank you, Taika. Thank you. Why thank you to Taika and not to the other ones? As if they're not all in the throuple. Apollo. That's some, think about why you just did that, Apollo. Hitman Hudson says, I'm so bummed about this Friends reunion special. Why does James Corden have to ruin everything? He's not ruining it, though. You haven't even seen it. Black Lives Matter, Indigenous Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, and Disabled Lives Matter. Let's stop AAPI hate, free Palestine, and stand against anti-Semitism. Hitman, thanks for your thoughts. Appreciate your thoughts on that one, and appreciate you always standing up for what you believe to be right. You're awesome. Glenn Caesar says, thank you, Roxy, for all the super kind / supportive words. I figure if I'm a rock star and a world friend, then I got to do my best to follow the example of the leader of the rock stars, you, and the rock stars let me be silly and goofy. Thursday, 5 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah, why not? I know it's going to be late / early / all of those things. So, yeah. Yeah. King Sport Cow says, I get up and go to work 12 hours a day. That's a job. So King Sport Cow, I actually work a lot more than you do. I work 7 days a week and probably about 16 to 17 hours a day. So yeah, I have like 15 jobs, and I do it all to support myself and to try to provide a better life for my family. So that's a job. What do you think it is that entertainers do? You think you don't think it's a job to be an entertainer? You don't think when I'm on SEN or here or the World Girls or Rotten Tomatoes or Screen Junkies or Collider, or you think I should just go and do those things for free because to you that's not a job, even though I'm working 16-hour days, 7 days a week and literally don't stop? But just by your definition, that's not a job. Even though I'm producing these shows, I find the segments, we meet for hours at a time for World Girls, we go and film things, we pay our crew, our editor, our camera people. So what part about that isn't a job to you? I'm just curious. Just curious. So, yeah, you've always been really sweet, but this is actually like really fucking rude and mean. And if you don't want to be here, you don't have to, because I don't put a gun to anybody's head. And if you don't want to be here, then no worries. No worries. All right, moving on. It's so crazy because I always expect it from the trolls. And I get so excited to go after the trolls. But it's like when my own rock stars do shit, it's just like, wow, that fucking hurts. I thought that I was a better leader than that. It fucking hurts. Moving forward, because that's the way to work. Because I do work at the jobs that I have, and all the other jobs that I do too, which have nothing to do with you seeing my face, just to make a living, because people have to live. All right, let's talk more about Johnny Knoxville, because it's a lot more fun than what we're talking about right now. So the rest of this article not only showed why this was going to be the last of the Jackasses, but kind of took us through his career and how it all started. And it did talk a little bit about the other people that had been in his crew. There's a few parts of the article that I wanted to read to you guys that I screenshotted. And yeah, some of the stuff is kind of wild. So obviously he was asked about some of the castmates and the struggles that they've had. And I thought that he did a pretty good job of answering this. He said, the article says, other members of the cast had more trouble adjusting to fame. Steve O very publicly battled drug addiction in recent years, Worrying signs have come from Bam Margera, who has exited rehab a number of times. Cast member Ryan Dunn died in 2011 in a drunk driving accident. Watching his friends struggle has been immensely challenging for Knoxville. He said, quote, "It's difficult when your friends are," end quote. He trailed off and quieted to a near whisper. Quote, "It was heartbreaking losing Ryan, and it was tough when Steve-O was going off the rails, but he has completely turned his life around and is doing he's doing terrific. He's a different man," end quote. I asked if he ever felt that the show or the lifestyle around it was responsible for exacerbating his friend's struggles. And how he answered was, quote, "I think each of us was responsible for his own actions. And when someone's struggling, everyone tries to help that person. At the end of the day, that person has to want help. Sometimes they don't yet," end quote. I asked him if he was speaking about anyone specifically. He looked away, visibly emotional. Half a minute passed. Quote, "We want Bam to be happy and healthy and get the help he needs. We tried to push that along. I think that's all I really want to say about it," end quote. When talking about Bam, I guess that the person who wrote this article called Bam yes, TMZ. So a few days after I had lunch with Knoxville, Bam asserted to TMZ that he had been fired from Jackass 4 for refusing to follow through with Knoxville mandated rehab, an experience he had likened to quote unquote torture. Over the phone, Bam confirmed to me that he had been fired from the movie for breaking his contract. Quote, "It hurts my heart because I've waited 10 years for this," end quote. So Bam's saying that he's waited 10 years to be in Jackass 4. And then what Johnny Knoxville had to say about this was, "I don't want to get into public back and forth with Bam. I just want him to get better," end quote. I think it's got to be really hard because while Johnny Knoxville is absolutely right, it's everybody's choice to do what they do. I'm sure it's hard. A lot of them have gotten not just one concussion, but 5 concussions, and a lot of them are in a lot of pain, but these are choices that they made, and to make the choice to be on the show and have this be your livelihood, because by the way, it's a job, even if some people don't think it is, for this to be your job and this to be what you've given your heart and your soul to, even as stupid as some of the things are, it's your choice. And it must be really hard for John Knoxville, knowing he started this, to see what happened with the people around him. But the thing is, very likely, if this is the path you choose, prior to choosing this path, there were already things going on with you. I don't think most people who are A-okay in the head are 100%, have no addiction problems, have no familial problems, have no whatever, choose to be entertainers in general. Like, you just don't find people who want to ease other people's pain by putting themselves on the line and have them have these perfect upbringings. So likely there was stuff there prior to them even meeting Johnny Knoxville. And a lot of this is sad, but I thought he answered the questions very well. And I'm glad that he didn't want to get in that back and forth publicly with Bam. And I'm sure that he feels awful about what's happening. So yes, I think that he did a really good job with all of that as well. A couple other things that I wanted to mention that this article went over. They talked about this crazy bull situation towards the end of the article. That was wild to hear about. You just think about people getting in the ring with these bulls, and Johnny Knoxville kind of likens himself to a bull. And I really loved that analogy. If you read the article, let me know how you felt about that too, because I thought that was great. And then he talks about why he is stopping. It says, "This fall, the 4th of the Jackass films will be released, a project that Knoxville told me will be the last contribution to the franchise. When we spoke, he was finishing work on the movie, marveling at the absurdity of what he had just put his body through and feeling fortunate to simply be upright. Quote, "You can only take so many chances before something irreversible happens. I feel like I've been extremely lucky to take the chances I've taken and still be walking around," end quote. The whole Jackass endeavor has always been powered by Knoxville's obsession with getting with what he calls great footage, that raw stunt material, with the power to shock audiences and tickle them too. Now at 50, with the end of Jackass in view, he's got a dearly earned sense of what all that footage added up to and perhaps what it all may have cost. Quote, I know what I signed up for, end quote. He said at one point in our conversations, quote, I wrote the stunts, end quote. I thought that was really great. Another part of this article that really intrigued me was how everybody was talking about one of the main reasons this worked was because Johnny Knoxville always put himself on the line as much, if not more, than all of the people around him. He wasn't just like this pretty faced boy who he made everybody else do the crazier stunts and he took the easy ones. He fucking time after time took the craziest shit, did the craziest shit. And that was really cool. There's an incident when they're filming this last one with the Bulls where Johnny ends up in the hospital after getting a concussion and being knocked out and breaking his ribs and his wrists and all this stuff. And the article towards the very end says when he was laid up, his phone beeped with a text message from Steve-O. So he's in the hospital bed. Steve-O texts him and he described it as sort of a love letter to him. This is what the text said. Knox, while it's actually happening, watching you play with bulls and yaks has always been my very least favorite part of the thing called Jackass. But watching the footage after the fact has always made me profoundly grateful. The ultimate risks you have always taken for this team truly set you apart on your own as the backbone of it. You're not just a shockingly pretty face. You are the craziest fucking stuntman ever to live. End quote. And I love that. If you're going to make everybody else do it, you show the fuck up as well. They are so... Steve-O's quotes in this were incredible too. They are so committed to this thing that they started. And in a weird way, I think one of the reasons I'm so obsessed with them is because you guys know that they're a big part of why we started the Whirl Girls. Now, we don't intend to do what they do. We don't have interest in making our loved ones go through what some of the Jackass people have to go through in terms of like doing shit that makes it so that like Johnny Knoxville had to use a catheter for fucking 2 years because he almost fucking ripped off his dick or whatever. That's not the kind of thing we want to do, but pushing your body to the limit in certain ways, doing things that people have always wanted to try, doing things for the sole reason of entertaining others and just giving shit a whirl. There's even one part in this article where he referenced giving things a whirl. And I tweeted it out from the Whirl Girls because I was like, this is legit. Like we started a company and a huge reason why we started it was because of Jackass. And the quote is, let's give it a whirl. What's the worst that can happen? It's not like I'm going to break my dick or something. And that's kind of our thing. Now we're not going to do exactly what it is they do, as I've said, but we do plan on doing a lot crazier shit than we're doing now. Now that pandemic's done, we want to do a lot of extreme sports stuff and skydiving and bungee jumping. We want to do bug eating shit. We want to, there's things that we want to do more like Fear Factor kind of things than Jackass kind of things. But we want to push ourselves. We want to try things. And one thing that I think is truly incredible about what Johnny Knoxville has done is that he is going, whenever he does die, I feel like this man is going to have not one thing on his deathbed is going to be, I wish I tried this, or I wish I tried this. It's just unbelievable that he's going to die with so little regrets. If he has any regrets, then it's not going to be about things that he didn't try, because he really has lived a fucking hugely full life and has done more things than any of us, if we lived to 5 million, could claim that we did. So I'm a huge Johnny Knoxville fan, if you can't tell. I'm so grateful for Jackass, at the very least, for making me laugh when nothing else could, for distracting me when nothing else could, for giving us all like a new effing language to speak in. It's wild. And in Johnny Knoxville, we trust, but not really. But also kind of. Let me know how you guys feel about Johnny Knoxville. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. I would love to hear from each and every one of you guys. Talk to me about Johnny. Because I would love to get it in. Speaking of this being a job, we have made $9 full in the Streamlabs today. $9 full. It's like this. It's a roller coaster show in terms of topics. It's a roller coaster show in terms of finances. It's almost like playing with my life at points. And I do it while getting all the criticism from the people that are rock stars. So it's one hell of a journey. And thank you guys for being on that journey with me. Much appreciated. All right, let's move forward. And we'll talk a little bit about Powerpuff Girls. Yep, that's what I feel like talking about, Powerpuff Girls. So the Powerpuff Girl pilot is getting reworked. Why, you ask? Well, because it fucking sucked, apparently. I didn't read it. It was leaked. I don't usually like to read leaks because a lot of times the leaks are what we end up seeing in the actual pilot, and so I didn't want it to be spoiled for me. That being said, it is just universally being panned right now. I mean, people are really, really not liking it. I can read to you guys some tweets. Xavier's online says the script leaks for Powerpuff Girls reboot are the worst thing I've ever read this month. Discussing film said CW's live action Powerpuff Girls is set to be reworked and will film a new pilot sometime later this year. I guess we know. Vasco said, personally, I'd rather watch a teen Powerpuff Girl cartoon than live action, something like the fan art piece I did last year. A lot of people were saying that. I think live action would be great, but I don't know about the specific concept they were saying. A lot of this is concept art at this point. Craig McCracken reading the leaked script of CW's Powerpuff Girl. This is coming from Traystar679. Look how they massacred my girls is then the meme that they used. So it's kind of funny. Jacob says Powerpuff Girls is trending because of that script shit. Is the closest thing I need to a live action Powerpuff Girls. And it's just a video. Better writing than the CW Powerpuff Girls. Or people are just, nobody is saying anything positive about this. Nobody. So the CW, that apparently the script leaked on Monday. And so the CW then either related or not related, pulled the plug on the pilot that was shot. And they had some interesting things to say about why. Now, they didn't reference everybody's tweets, although I think that they saw the public perception and they were like, eek. This is an article coming from Hollywood Reporter, which said the CW boss explains what went wrong with Powerpuff Girls pilot. This is what they said. This is what he said. Mark Pedowitz is the one talking here. The reason we do pilots is sometimes things miss. We believe in the cast and in the writers, Diablo Cody and Heather Rainier, and executive producer Greg Berlanti, and studio Warner Brothers. In this case, the pilot didn't work. Because we see enough elements in there, we wanted to give it another shot. It may have felt a little too campy and not rooted in reality. You learn things when you test things out. We felt, let's take a step back and go back to the drawing board. This is a powerful property. It engaged a lot of interest, and we want to get it right. Then the Hollywood Reporter article says the answer came on the heel of the script allegedly leaking online on Monday with some rather adult content in the purported dialogue. One scene had Blossom threatening to leak Buttercup's nude photos and interrupting her sister's marathon sex session, while the dialogue included lines like, life is one big hate boner. When asked if the leaked script was accurate, Pedowitz gave a non-denial answer saying that he hadn't seen the article. The Atlanta shot pilot starred Chloe Bennett, Dove Cameron, and Yana Peralt, who played Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, respectively. The pilot is being retooled with same writers and cast attached. So this is kind of interesting. I think that the live action Powerpuff Girls could be a great idea. But when we heard the concept for this, what the concept was that their dad, now that they're grown up, they are rebelling against him because they don't like that they were turned into these super beings, and so they are rebelling by not using their powers at all. And that's kind of a strange concept because we've got a show that essentially should be a superhero show about these three awesome fucking teenagers, but instead we're not seeing them use their powers because they're resentful of him and bitter. So that was a weird premise in general. Then all of the stuff about all the sex stuff and whatever, it's strange because this is a CW show, so we do get a little sexy, but some of that stuff is like, whoa, it sounds like a bizarre thing to do with a bunch of high schoolers, and then we're supposed to be into that pilot. Them saying that it's too campy, that doesn't sound campy to me, but again, I didn't read the script, so it very possibly is campy. Campy isn't necessarily a bad thing. A lot of CW shows are campy. I would say Flash is campy. I would say Legends of Tomorrow is campy. But for Powerpuff Girls, maybe they were going for something a little more badass and it turned campy. It not being grounded in reality is a bizarre thing for them to say, or not rooted in reality, because no shit. But I do see what they could mean, because even in the best superhero properties, we still like them to be rooted in reality in some way, because the powers should be the things that are not rooted in reality, not the characters. And so I wonder if this is going to work. They're going to retry it. The pressure is going to be on. They're definitely on a different timeline now. A pilot costs a ton of money to shoot. So I'm sure that they're feeling pressure from the studio, pressure all around. The actresses are probably going to be scared shitless for this performance, because they figured they had at least a season of TV that they had booked, and now this is not sounding good. So a situation like this can very easily go from we're retooling it to the whole project is scrapped. I don't want to see that, because I like this cast. I like there being a live action Powerpuff Girls series, but do I think that this is going to make it to our televisions? I'm very 50-50 on this at this point. I think it's very likely that this never sees the light of day. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think we're ever going to see a Powerpuff Girl project? If we do, what exactly is it that you would want to see from it? Would love to hear from you guys. Sips tea. In the Streamlabs, saving my ass right now. Star Gonzalez, streamlabs.com/Roxy says, much love to you and yours. Thanks, honey. Could I be any more excited for the Friends reunion? I could not. I'm freaking the fuck out about it. I'm just really, really excited for it. It's the thing guiding me through all of this stuff. It's just tomorrow night. I mean, we're talking about in like 18 hours from now that I'm going to be, nope, that was not good math. 24, and about like 36 hours from now that I'm going to be watching this. It'll be really, really wild. It'll be so exciting. I'm so excited. I just can't add it. I'm much more excited for that than the Powerpuff Girl retooling. Moving forward, let's talk about Taika Waititi, Tessa Thompson, and Rita Ora. There's not much to talk about with this, but it is worth doing a little examining. Oh, wait, before we do that, hell yeah, that big-ass Streamlabs rolling through from Mark, Jason, Ali. Y'all are too sweet. Hell yeah. Thank you, Mark. You always bail me out. Hi, Roxy, just showing support. You crushed it today on SEN. I'll give Powerpuff Girls a chance when it comes out. I will too, no matter what. I'll give it a chance, even if people say that the script is trash. I like the cast. I met Johnny a few times over the years. He's a cool dude. Howard, Grammy, and Papa. Wow. I would love to interview Johnny Knoxville. What an incredible guy to meet that would be. Grammy and Papa are doing well. On Thursday, I'm taking Grammy. I hope we have time to get her nails done, but we might not, because we have to take her to go get her fitted for a hearing aid, and we just don't know how long that's going to take. But I'm just glad that she's going, because she's been refusing for a long time. And something I didn't know, which I wish I had known. So for any of you guys who take care of your parents or your grandparents or are elderly yourselves, if your hearing starts to go, the sooner you get the hearing aid, the more likely you are to be able to save certain registers of your hearing. Because she refused and fought me on this for so long, there are certain registers that are completely gone forever. They rank it in these tiers, like top tier, middle, and lower. And her entire top tier is completely gone, and she can never get that back, because we did wait as long as we did. So hearing aids are, they're so expensive. These are going to cost a lot of money. I think I told my uncle that I would split it with him. I actually don't even want to say that on air, because if anybody is listening to this, they don't even want anybody to know. So just erase that part. But they are ridiculously expensive. And lucky for us, for my grandfather, the VA pays for his hearing aids, because the hearing loss that he's worn hearing aids my entire life, is due to the war. And so they are, I know, Rob, they're thousands and thousands of dollars. So and they're not usually covered. So luckily Papa's are, hers are not. And so, but we still need to get them. We don't have an option. She can't fucking hear me. And so I'm tired of her living like that. Joseph says my dad got his at Costco. That's exactly where we're getting Grammy's starter pair. It is, Melissa said, you already said it. I know. I just wish I didn't, because I know, forget that the only family members of mine who listen to the show are my aunt, my uncle, and my Grammy. So yeah, it's just, I know that she doesn't want to know how. I think we're telling her that we're doing through insurance or something, because I'm like whispering it. So hopefully if she watches, she can't hear it, because it's very stressful. And I know that's one of the reasons she doesn't want them, but we have no choice. We have to pay for them, and we have to make sure that she can hear. Otherwise it's not, her quality of life is just like dropping, and it will continue to, because it gets worse and worse. So they're really, really, really expensive. And that coming right at tax season for people is just not ideal. But whatever, we all have things that we have to do in life. So that is just one of mine. Too bad I don't have a job. Me throwing hate, because that was fucking rude. But thank you for asking. She is going okay. She's doing okay. Papa's doing okay. I'm just really fucking lucky to have them both. So thank you so much for checking in, Mark. Appreciate that. In the super chat, let's see what's going on here. Christian Hardesty, most supportive human on the planet these days, trying to figure out Streamlabs on my phone at softball, but it's confusing the hell out of me. No worries. Anyway, just keep grinding, Roxy. People never know how hard things can be. Just do you. That's super true. That's super true. Yeah, Rob saying I totally feel you. The Roxy got to take care of them, though. I mean, what is a better way to spend my money or my time? It's I think we all hope that one day we are lucky enough to be elderly, and that if we are, that we are lucky enough to have people around us who care enough about us to fucking take care of us for the things that we can't do for ourselves. And you guys know I would, if it meant helping them, I would cut off my fucking arm. So yeah, you just do what you have to do. And so, yeah, but we're going on Thursday, which I'm really excited about, because she's finally going to be able to hear a lot better. When she put them in to test the last time, she was like, wow, these really work. I was like, oh my God, for 5 years every day, I've begged you to let me take you, please, dear God. So as the side note, if you are elderly or take care of anybody elderly who is losing their hearing, the sooner the better, because even though it is expensive, you actually will save their hearing in the long run, which is great. PLD says, dropping in quick before FCL starts to show support. You're the best, Rox. Oh, and Jake is definitely not. Bye. Hi, PLD. Love when you pop in. Good luck with FCL. I'll be out of here before that starts so that everybody can go over and watch my friends over there kick ass like we know they do. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, Pink Sweet says, oh, sick. I did not get a notification for this. Oh, the sarcasm is real. Watching any new shows lately? I'm watching a Black Lady sketch show, and I'm obsessed. HBO Max is doing it for me. Netflix is not. What the fuck is up, Netflix? Ooh, interesting. I am watching a new not a new show, but I am watching that show Alone Together. It's a bummer that Krista Lee is in it, but the 2 stars of it are awesome. And I am 1 episode away from finishing that. I also think, didn't Master of None just drop on Netflix, the newest season? I read some things about it, so I'm excited to be able to watch that. Those are currently my things, but I'll let you know if I start anything new, and I'll let you know. Yeah, because I let you guys know everything. Pink Sweet, you're the best. Sorry that you didn't get a notification. YouTube tries to fuck us all, and we just try to fuck it back. In a good way? What? I don't know if any of that made sense. Taika, Tessa, and Rita forever. Let's just briefly look at the gloriousness that is this throuple. Oh, these pictures broke the internet yesterday. This is Tessa Thompson, Rita Ora, and Taika Waititi, who are having what looks like some kind of mimosa, and all in a little cuddle sesh. This is a makeout between Rita and Taika. This is a kiss between Taika and Tessa. And this is a gaze into the sunglasses eyes of Rita and Tessa. This throuple seems to be living their best life, and these pictures made me so happy. I have to say, as you guys know, I've learned a lot more about open relationships and anything to do with non-conventional relationships through one of my closest friends and my co-host, Darina. And I have a lot of friends who are are poly or in non-conventional relationships. And here is what I know. You do you. Anybody who sees this and thinks, wow, that's the life that I want to live. I don't want to be monogamous and I don't want to settle with one person. And at least that's where I am at this phase of my life. Then guess what? You are allowed to do that. You just have to be honest with all people involved. Honesty is key. Openness is key. And anybody who sees this and thinks, what the fuck? Then it's not for you. Then you don't do this and stop judging people. I am a very monogamous person. I am somebody who wants to find one partner and be with that partner for the rest of my life. So this kind of relationship isn't for me. But do I look at it and do I see all three people looking fucking happy? Because yeah, they look fucking happy. They look free and happy and sexy together. You live your lives. Totally. So just everybody be safe. Be honest. Safety is key, especially when sex is involved, because there's a physical component to this where you have to be honest with each other and a mental component as well. But I love this. I love this throuple. I think it's awesome. And so live this life. Redford says, oh, what? Isn't this just a picture from from Thor movie set? No, I think that this is... Zeno says, are you sure this isn't a prank? I don't think so. I think that this is real. Cena says consent is key. I mean, Cena, consent isn't just key, it's essential. Without it, it's not a throuple. It's not, you're not in a relationship with somebody if it's not consensual. We know what that is. So totally, Cena, totally. Communication, consent, all of that stuff. But if they're happy and everybody is happy, then fuck yeah to all of this. Oh boy, throuple life. And I can't even find myself one, man. Or a woman. Whatever. Not picky. Before we get out of here, as I mentioned at the top of the show, today is the 1 year anniversary of George Floyd. And time has moved so strangely this last year. It has felt like it went by like this in terms of, I feel like George Floyd has been gone for a second. But it's also felt like it has been the longest year ever, as we have been in quarantine and we have had 5 million things take place, including all of the horrible things that have happened and the beautiful things that have happened as well. And it's just a strange marker of time, but it's also important just to remember, may he rest in peace. And I wish and I hope that somewhere he knows that he is not only not forgotten, but a huge part of a movement of change and progress. And may he live on in each one of us who fights for him in his memory and his justice as much as we can for years to come. So thank you guys for always letting me talk about the things that matter here on the show, whether you believe it's my job or not. I appreciate you guys for being here. Shout out to everybody who stayed live with me this whole time. Cena Bigelow, Melissa Burns, Zeno Howard, John Bainbridge, Bruce Banner, Pink Sweets, Glenn Caesar, Matt Munoz, Joseph Ashley, Ryan Payne, Dustin Solis, sorry, sometimes I butcher names, Redford Reddington, Emmanuel Akinola, Neil Handstock, Loudy Ferdinand, Jonathan Flores, King Sport Cal, even you. No matter how offensive it was what you said. Ryan Payne, no, Master None came back, I'm pretty sure. Redford Reddington, Jake Yacovetta, my amazing mod, Rob Fishbeck, who said that I was right. That's a first, Rob. Just kidding. Bill Lyons, PLD, Gregory Castillo, and everybody else who is here with us. Spencer Harris. Yeah, you guys all rock. Lauren Starr, Mohammed Belsin, Evan Hooker, Gregory Castillo sending in those bunnies. Thank you. Simply Emily, Christian Hardesty, Stefan Zubel. Every time I switch off between Steven and Stefan, and never do you tell me which one it is. Tommy Gunn. I'm just joining. No way. Tommy Gunn. Is that really you? Tommy Gunn is always what Ben used to say that he wanted his hair metal name to be. Tommy Gunn or T Gun or some shit. So what an interesting choice. What an interesting choice. All right. I think that it's time for me to get the fuck out of here. Oh, I think you guys are saying something in the Streamlabs. Let me check that out. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Glenn Caesar says, love you, Roxy, and all your jobs, of which Live with the Roxy, The World Girls, Only Stupid Answers, and SCN Live are. Yeah, I got more than that, too. And it's not all fun and game and sunshine and roses. This is true. Much love to all of you guys. I will see you tomorrow live at the Roxy and for the World Girl Wednesday, our IRL episode, and we'll be live. And then late that night, really Thursday morning, for the Friends after show. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm even saying that. That's wild. Insane. Make your beds. Put down your toilet seat and lid. We don't want those flumes. Don't Drum with the Holocaust. Brett Miles, Jonathan, the rest of the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. All three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Blowing your internet. Still thinking about you, Avery and Chris Burke. Always will be. We love you guys a lot. And may Chris rest in peace. Much love to the rock stars. Stay safe, stay sane. And I'll see you tomorrow for Live with Roxy.